Hey y'all, it's awesome to be doing another midweek devotional with you guys. I've been loving diving into the book of Genesis. So we're looking all this month at Genesis chapter 1 through chapter 11 and looking at this early part of this beautiful book and unpacking some of the stories within this book. And last week we kind of looked at Noah's Ark. And we unpacked that story a little bit. And what I want to do for this midweek devotional is I want to look at the end of Genesis chapter 9. So I want to read from verse 18 to the very end of Genesis chapter 9, and then just point out something that I find interesting in the story that we read, of a moment where, Noah's dignity is exposed in a sense, and what, his kids do, and just what we can learn from that. So let's dive in to this awesome story that we have in Genesis after Noah and his family get off the ark. It starts at chapter 9, verse 18. If you want to open up your own Bibles, feel free. If not, the words will come up on the screen, and I'm reading from the ESV version. But let's dive in. The sons of Noah who went forth from the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham was the father of Canaan. These three sons were the sons of Noah, and from these the people of the whole earth were dispersed. Noah began to be a man of the soil, and he planted a vineyard. He drank of the wine and became drunk, and lay uncovered in his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his two brothers. Then Shem and Japheth took a garment, laid it on both their shoulders, and walked backward and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces were turned backwards, and they did not see their father's nakedness. When Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his youngest son had done to him, he said, "Cursed be to Cain, a servant of servants shall he be to his brothers." He also said, "Blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and let Canaan be his servant. May God enlarge Japheth, and let him dwell in the tents of Shem, and let Canaan be his servants." After the flood, Noah lived 350 years. All the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. Now, I really love that story that we get of this moment that happens for Noah's kids. And you have Ham, who discovers that his dad, who is a man of the soil, which paints this picture after the flood, Noah gets more connected with creation, more connected with the beauty of God's creation and stewarding that and working with the soil and working with his hands and, feeling this sense of connectedness to everything. From that, he makes wine. And he drinks a little bit too much of his wine. We don't know if there was a certain event or certain thing going on, but we're just told he drinks too much and he's drunk. Noah's kind of lost control. He's not in a good space. So much so that he winds up in his tent naked. No clothes on, no nothing, completely exposed. Anyone in that moment could, snap a picture, come and expose his dignity. And you have his son Ham, who comes, sees his dad naked, and decides to go and tell his two brothers. His two brothers then come, and they get this blanket, and they walk backwards so they're not seen and cover their dad. And we can read that story, and, you see Ham kind of get cursed, and you're kind of like, well, he didn't really do anything that wrong. He kind of just went and told his two brothers, like, hey, Dad's naked, come check it out. Or, we don't know what he said. It just tells us that he told his two brothers. So he goes, hey, Dad's, naked and drunk in the tent. Which doesn't sound too bad, but I think it points to something we need to do as Christians and as followers of Christ. And we need to make sure we do it for our friends and our family and those that we respect and love, that we have a relationship with. And that I think what it shows is we got to protect their dignity. So in this moment, you have Noah exposed. His dignity's at risk. And his two other sons decide to protect it. Not to see their dad and this weak and fragile state and to cover him so his dignity's protected. It's intact. It's not exposed. There's not going to be a paparazzi photo of, Noah drunk in his tent. There's going to be nothing like that. They protected him. They made sure he kept his dignity. I think sometimes we need to do that. We too often don't. For people that we care for or love, if they have a weak moment or if something goes wrong and we discover something about them, we're too easily caught up in the mix of gossiping. And we won't call it gossip. We'll do like what Ham did and just go tell someone, hey, have you heard da-da-da-da-da? And we think that's fine. And we think that's okay. But I don't know if it is sometimes. I don't know if we should be exposing the weaknesses of our brothers and sisters in Christ all the time. Maybe we should take the road that Japheth and Shem took and protect their dignity. If we have a chance and an opportunity to protect it, maybe we should. And then journey with them. Because that's what I read in this story of Noah waking up and, once he gets his sense and wits about him, probably having a talk with his kids, finding out what happened, because it tells us he found out. So he wouldn't have woke up and knew. If he was that drunk on wine and passed out, there's no way he would have known. He would have had to come to and had people talk to him about the story. And I like to think that's what, Japheth and Shem did. They went to their dad and said, hey, Dad, you were drunk and naked in the tent, and we wanted to protect you, so we walked with the blanket backwards so we didn't see and covered you. What's going on? Everything all right? And who knows how that conversation went. But I think that's probably a way more productive way we could handle stuff as followers of Christ. So I want to challenge you with that this week. I want to challenge you with the people that you love and admire in your life. If there's a moment where their dignity is exposed and we have a way to protect it, maybe we should step up and protect it. Talk to our brothers and sisters in Christ, our friends, our family in private. But protect them when we're out. Help them keep their dignity if we can. And I want to challenge you to look at what that means for you and the way that you do things and the way that you handle things. Because it can have a dramatic impact. And sometimes we don't know the impact it can have if we just go to someone and we do like what Ham did and said, hey, yada yada's drunk and naked in a ditch. We don't know the damage that can cause. Maybe it's better to protect people when they're vulnerable. Support them, get around them. And I want to encourage you to do that. I want to challenge you to do that as followers of Christ. May God's grace and peace be with you.